When you think about impact wrenches, have you thought about Metabo? We've got the new Metabo 18-volt mid-torque brushless impact wrench. Supposed to put out up to 885 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. This is the Metabo SSW 18 LTX 800 BL, and it's their mid-torque brushless impact wrench that runs on their 18-volt battery platform. We have a 5.5 amp hour 18-volt on there. You can get this as a bare tool, or you can get this with two of the batteries and the charger and the case as well. Now it has their what they call their automatic power shift or auto power shift, where it will actually sense when a fastener is broken free, as well as sense when a fastener is tightened, and it won't over tighten it, and it'll also slow the fastener down when it's coming off as well. And we'll be testing that. And one thing different on this impact wrench than most impact wrenches, they may have, you know, 2 or 3 or maybe 4 modes. This one actually has 12. So it has a bottom setting, which is the auto power shift, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10, where you can literally designate the power, of course, increasing all the way up to 10. And then the power mode is going to give you 100% max power in tighten and loosen. Now, we did find some interesting things out about this impact wrench in the testing, so definitely don't miss that, especially when it comes to the modes and how the tool reacts. Now, fairly comfortable tool to hold. You know, the handle, very ergonomic, nothing out of the ordinary there. Simple directional trigger or switch right there below the head. And then the trigger, we're going to get a variable speed trigger, where if we have it in the max mode or in the number 10, we're going to get up to 2,575 RPM. And again, we can vary that depending on how much throttle we're grabbing, as well as on the impacts per minute from 0 all the way up to 3,300. Again, that's going to vary depending on if it's sensing the torque needs to impact, as well as how much trigger we're grabbing there. This is rated at 590 foot-pounds of tightening torque and 885 foot-pounds of loosening or breakaway torque, which is, they have it rated at 800 Newton meters tighten and 1,200 Newton meters of breakaway. Now, height on this is about 10 3/4 of an inch, and then length is just under 7 inches, about 6 3/4 inches. And width across the battery is probably going to be the widest point at 3 1/4 inches, and across the head, you're looking at just at 3 inches across the head there. Get a weight here with the battery, 6 pounds 8 ounces. And then bare tool, 4 pounds 5 ounces. It's about 6.5 pounds with the battery on. Now let's take this over and test it out, and then we'll come back and talk about pricing and warranty and what we think of it. Okay, we've got the Metabo mid-torque impact over here, or otherwise known as the SSW 18 LTX 800 BL. So brushless mid-torque impact wrench, ready to attack the test here. Now we're going to take our torque tool and start torquing at 150 foot-pounds. And the reason we start at 150 is that's really the lowest that our torque tool will go. And then we'll go to 200, then 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. Now if we break those free, we'll move on into the larger fasteners. But let's start here at 150 foot-pounds. All right, we're going to take the Metabo impact wrench and we're going to put it on the max power mode, which here on the dial is the P. I believe the 10 will do the same, but we're going to put it on P for max power. And just to make sure, we've got a full 18-volt battery. This is the 5.5 amp hour battery, and we have it in reverse as well. Grab our socket here. And you see we have index marks or hash marks all around the socket so that you can easily see that this socket is moving or not. And what we'll do, we will actually let it hit on each fastener for up to 10 seconds. If it hasn't broken it free by the 10-second mark, then it will not get that score. But if it's moving it at the 10-second mark, we'll go ahead and let it finish. Now, we suspect that these first few are not going to have any trouble whatsoever. All right, now we're here starting at 500 foot-pounds with the larger socket. Okay, we're going to bring in our larger torque tool. We're going to start torquing these larger fasteners at 800 foot-pounds. Okay, we still have our impact wrench in power mode, and we still have a full battery. Get a larger socket on there. Make sure it's in reverse. There we go. Okay, now we're starting at 800 foot-pounds, going to 900, 1,000, and 1,100. Let's try this again. Okay, I'm going to try it in mode 10, see if that changes. I'm going to go to the auto mode. Okay, you're not seeing double here. We've got two of the same impact wrenches, and this is the one we were just using. And you saw that we broke free 700 foot-pounds. And when we went to the larger fastener at 800 foot-pounds, it impacted away for a few seconds and then went into like an override or sounded an alarm, shut down the tool, which to us looks like it's a protection mode. Looks like that it's going into a sense of either overheating, something like that, and the battery management system or the tool management system takes over, shuts the tool down for safety's sake, to save the tool. We get that. We see that quite often in other things, but at the same time, it does it in like, I don't know, 5, 6, 8 seconds maybe. And again, probably really determines on the heat of the tool. But our point is that we've seen it in both tools. So it happened on this one, and we contacted Metabo. They sent us out another one. We're seeing it again. So again, we're sensing that it is something in some type of overload alarm to where it recognizes it, shuts the tool down for safety's sake. So great tool for going up to 5, 6, 700 foot-pounds and handling that. And by the way, we're going to do some other tests here in a moment. But just wanted to kind of show you what is exactly happening here. So here's the tool we were just using. And here's the tool that's a couple of weeks old. And by the way, you saw it finally broke free, that 800 foot-pounds. So it has the power to do it. Now 900. Same thing happening. So again, that's why we say there's probably some sort of management system that's actually acknowledging that the tool is either struggling or it is overheating by some means, and it's shutting the tool down for safety's sake. But this one is still cool, very cool to the touch, hasn't been used except that few seconds right there. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Just to show you, I'm going to torque all these fasteners, or not all of them, these 3 fasteners at 500 foot-pounds. Okay, 3 nuts torqued at 500 foot-pounds and not even a full battery, just 3 out of 4 bars there. Well, maybe not. I was assuming it would knock out those 500 foot-pounds with no trouble at all, but it just seems that once it gets to a certain point, it doesn't want to push anymore, and it shuts the tool down again for safety's sake. Now let's try out the auto mode here, and we'll show you what happens there. So you see what happened? Once it broke it free, it stopped the tool for a second and then started going slower. And we'll see what happens when we tighten. It actually shut the tool down. My finger's still on the trigger. Same thing here. See, it's actually stopping the tool once it senses there's torque on it. Finger's still on the trigger. So the auto mode, it senses once it is a little bit snug and then shuts the tool down, as well as when it's breaking it free, it stops the tool for a split second and then slows it way down. No, you don't have double vision, and we're assuming that you just watched the testing of the Metabo mid-torque impact wrench. And just to be clear, when we had the issue with the first impact wrench, we reached out to Metabo, and again, assuming that it was kind of something programmed in the tool. They actually sent us out another one, thinking there may be an issue, and we tested it, and you actually saw us pretty much pull it out of the box and test it, and it had the same issue. I'm not sure if it's an issue. It seems like a programming thing. In other words, it's reaching a certain point, it's shutting the tool down, sounding the alarm. As soon as you let it rest for a second, you can actually pull the trigger again and it starts right back up. However, it will, if you go right away hammering at it, impacting at it, it will actually go into that override a lot quicker. So again, we're assuming it's sensing some overheating or over torquing issue and shutting the tool down. It really feels like it has the power to go far beyond where we went, and that is we broke free 700 foot-pounds, and then it had tons of trouble at the 800 foot-pound mark, and we really couldn't push it past that. So, but the feel of the tool, which we've tested many impact wrenches, is that there's plenty of power there to make it happen. It's just the tool is not allowing it to happen. Now, if you're wanting to, break away, 100, 200, 300 foot-pounds, this is not going to be an issue. If you're wanting to drive lag screws, it's probably not going to be an issue for you. But if you're looking for this to be that mid-torque that's getting close to that high torque, you may want to reach for one of the other brands that actually delivers on that higher torque level. Now, pricing on this is $270 for the bare tool with a 3-year warranty, and $579 if you buy it with the 2 batteries and the charger and the case. And again, you get that 3-year warranty, but you do have to register the tool within 4 weeks to get that 3-year warranty. Hey, be sure to keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already? And by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day. Keep smiling.